Hey, hello and welcome to PodQuest episode 571.
Hey,
Two?
yeah.
Or is this two?
It's
Shit.
probably two. I didn't change the numbers.
Oh,
I just updated the things. So let's just keep it going.
yeah, 572. It's Wednesday, July 30th,
Not the
2025.
23rd. Yeah.
I got that. I caught that one.
Yeah.
I am Drew. With me is Richie Walnut.
Uh, Today's episode is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah, it is. Let's get sponsor us, Raid Shadow Legends.
Drew apparently fell into the gotcha.
I did. It's dumb. It's fine. Listen, it is a thing I will say about it, and basically the only thing I'll say about it. They don't they try to get you to buy shit constantly. I mean, not really constantly. Like when you log in, and every once in a while when you go back to like the main screen, but there's no ads. There's never ads, and that sells a mobile game for me. No ads,
Yeah.
cool, whatever. You want me to try to spend money? I can just one click ignore that.
Yeah. I mean, it's dumb. It's stupid. Bro's been playing it for almost 45 minutes now. And that's probably just this one sitting. Yeah,
Oh
Discord
yeah,
is telling me that you're sitting here
yep,
playing Raid Shadow Legends as we're recording.
yeah. I mean, it's a game that just you set on autoplay and it plays in the background and you don't do anything with it, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
numbers go up and you get different things. That's Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
it's it. A lot of it is an idle game, or in
yeah,
a sense, like I think after you put together your party, it's just an idle game or
basically.
something like that. And that's like a lot of games like that. There's my buddy of mine who he had a sponsorship with a Marvel game recently on Twitch. And that's like the same thing. It's like you could play it on your PC, but also it's a phone game similar to Raid Shadow Legends. It's not Marvel Snap because that's like a card game. It's
Hmm.
Marvel. What is it? I gotta find it now. Let me find
Marvel
this.
Shadow Legends.
Marvel Shadow Legends. Yeah. No, I think he has a channel for it on Discord. Marvel Rivals. No, 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 not Rivals.
Right, yeah, that's the uh,
no.
Overwatch.
I don't remember what it's a Marvel game. It's a Marvel gotcha friggin' Marvel Shadow Legends game, yeah. And he was playing that and it was like there's a lot of people watching him play. A lot of people love these games. And they will watch people play these games. Like I bet you you can find a lot of people playing Raid Shadow Legends on Twitch
I
right
wouldn't be shocked. Listen, I don't think it's a good game. I don't think it's a bad. It's mobile. It's mobile junk. Like
now. Yeah.
it's there to be. Honestly, I got sucked in from an app that it's like, I don't know. You probably have seen ads for apps that are like, oh, we'll pay you money if you play games,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so th- that sucked me into the Raid Shadow Legends because it was on there. And then I was like, oh, this game doesn't have fucking ads every like two turns you do a thing. Cool, I'm in. And
Yeah.
I've been playing it for like 4 months now.
Shockingly, only 252 people playing Raid Shadow Legends or watching Raid Shadow Legends on Twitch.
No, but yeah.
Was it Marvel
Anyway,
Snap and he was? No, it was Marvel Strike Force is what he was playing.
Strike. Okay, I feel like I have
Yeah,
heard that name.
yeah.
That
There we
and that
go.
that sounds like a title for a game that would be like that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But yeah, it's Cobb's not here. He is
Yeah,
moving house
he is.
yesterday and today, and so his internet's probably set up, but his PCs and stuff aren't. So we are also pushing back book club until next week, which I don't even remember what the movie is that we're supposed to be watching.
Rogue One, isn't it?
Was
Rogue
it?
One.
It might be Rogue One.
I think that's what it said when I looked at the website for last week's post.
Yeah, yeah, probably. I don't remember
Yeah,
the
it's Rogue
theme.
One.
What's the theme?
We're doing 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon,
Right, okay.
so we're
Yeah.
doing just 6 movies
Uh
to get from whatever the fuck that last movie was.
yeah, Last Stand that
Yeah,
had
uh, Forest
it
Whitaker.
Forest Whitaker to now Rogue One, and we have to pick somebody other than Forest Whitaker and Rogue One to get to Kevin Bacon. Okay, yeah, yeah, right. Okay, all right. So yeah, so we're moving that back a week because Cobb's still moving house and everything else.
Yep.
And so he liked Rogue One, so I'm sure he'd want to be here for the discussion for it as well. But yeah, so yeah, other than that, we've got some things to talk about. Nothing too major, nothing major happened news-wise or anything. Before we get into any sort of conversation, I normally do a plug for my stream at the end of the show. I'm doing something a little bit different this week. I'm doing it at the top of the show for one specific reason. For my anniversary, one of the stretch goals was to unlock Chat Builds My Demon Souls character. And so you guys get to build my build for Demon Souls for my next play, which I'm starting on the 4th of August. This comes out on the 31st, so you got a couple of days. There will be a link in the description for the Survey Monkey to fill it out, and make my Demon Souls build. That is, there's, I think at the moment of recording, we're at 13 of 25 responses. So we got about 12 more responses allowed to go. Other than that, I went and saw the new Fantastic Four movie. Drew,
Nice.
you went bananas with the Savanah bananas.
I did.
And then I finished playing the Romancelvania game, the dating sim that that I started playing last week. That we'll talk a little bit more about. Not too much. Honestly, probably should have put that first, but I put it last. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's
It
literally
sounds
the
like a
least
fun thing
important.
to. Yeah, but it sounds like a fun thing to wrap up on.
Yeah,
I've
exactly.
heard fun things about that thing.
It's silly, and we'll get into it. There's some flaws with it, but we'll get into it.
I'm sure. And hey, I did that survey for you. I know nothing what anything means,
That's
but I was
fine.
like, hey, this sounds like a thing. Cool.
That's what most people are, and you could also definitely just go to what's it called? You can go to the
Oh yeah.
Fextra Life for Demon Souls and figure out what everything is.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
absolutely fine. I don't care if you know everything or nothing about Demon Souls. Just fill it out and be as silly or as funny as you like. It is skewing one specific route. Like right now, there is one weapon that is above everything else.
Is it
Specifically,
really big sword?
I don't want to lead the witness. So I
So
will
I'm
talk
gonna lead the
about.
witness. That was an option, right, or something
Yeah,
to that
yeah,
effect?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Like
That's the one I picked.
I'll talk about
You
the current results after the show
sure?
with you, but I don't want to lead
Sounds
the
good.
witness for
Yeah.
anyone
No,
who
totally
may
fair.
fill that out now. But yeah, so yeah. Other than that, yeah, Fantastic Four, Savannah Bananas, and Romancelvania. So I mean, yeah, I guess let's just get into it. I've seen the
So how was
Fantastic
it?
Four. I enjoyed it a lot.
I have heard good things.
It is. So, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just gonna say anyone that I've heard say anything about it has said positive things.
Yes,
So
and it's like we got the full range of what a superhero movie should be this year so far. The um the Thunderbolts was a movie about dealing with depression and anxiety and all that shit. And that movie made me cry because I like identified with it a lot. And then you had Superman, which is an immigrant story, a movie about proving that even though you're not from somewhere, you're still part of their people and you're still human, even though you may not be looked at as being human. And that
mm,
movie made me cry because it's just a great story. And there's a line at the end of the movie that's just fucking beautiful. It's a beautiful line. And like these two movies, in my opinion, are what media really should start doing is pushing onto those kinds of themes and start pushing against, the current political climate of saying like, hey, you know what? The bad people in our real lives are actually the bad people in these movies. They need to start pushing that kind of in a sense. And these are like great messages. Fantastic Four was neither of those. And this was just a great general idea for a superhero movie or a superhero story. And like it didn't have like like it you don't need a specific like agenda when making these movies. But like maybe we should lean a little bit harder on a little bit of some of these agendas, the right way to do things. But it's also really good to just make a fun sit down, watch popcorn movie that like is generally like enjoyable. There's not really anything questionable about it. It's just I have fun watching this. And this movie also made me cry near the end because it was just like I was kind of expecting how it not everything that happened to happen, but like at the point that I started to tear up, I was like, oh, I know how this is going to play out. But the way all the characters made you feel during that 2 to 3 minutes was just like, Oh man, all of these actors were perfectly cast. Pedro Pascal and the way he presents Reed Richards is amazing. He's just super analytical. He's super straightforward. He's definitely the straight guy of the movie, and like he's just no jokes. He takes everything by heart and by the exact meaning of it. He's a great Reed Richards. Sue Storm, honestly, one of the best things about Sue Storm is they made her like what is the word? Um, so in all other like Fantastic Four media, Sue Storm's powers are always questionable whether or not they work.
Okay.
Not in this. Her powers work. She can do shit. She is powerful in this. And like they made her like actually good. They made a strong female lead in this movie. And then Johnny, like it actually shows that Johnny isn't just a playboy. He is a scientist. He always has been a scientist. Like there's a reason he went up to space with them. And it showed that even though he is that little bit of a playboy kind of goofy guy, he's a smart guy as well. He's intelligent. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. And then Ben is just like the heart of the group. The thing. He's the heart of the group. He is a pilot. He's not a scientist. He's a pilot. He was the one who was doing all of the like spacewalks and stuff. So it's like obviously it's going to be a little bit like he's not the one doing the sciencey things, but he's the one connecting to the everyman and stuff like that. And it just really like grounded these extra extra special characters. I was gonna say extra normal, but I don't know what I was trying to say with that. But like it grounded these characters that are superheroes and have weird, crazy powers. The movie's not an origin story. They have been the Fantastic Four for about 4 years, I believe, at the start of the movie. They have maybe like a 5 minute, hey, here's how they became to be. And here's what has happened since they've come to be. And they are in an alternate universe. They're in universe 828, which is important, and I'll discuss why that's important in a little bit. And they go over that like they became the Fantastic Four, they became the saviors of New York and then of the Earth, and then they like created basically a utopia on Earth where there's no more wars and no one has guns and no one has like arms dealings anymore, and there's no militaries, and everyone just it perfectly works together. They made this utopia on Earth, and I was like, that's just like that's a great story. That's like a great like here's what superheroes with the right smarts could do in the right universe, or with the right mindset. Here's what they could do. And then it like all hell breaks loose with Silver Surfer coming down, and they eventually tell her story and why she's a Silver Surfer, and they end up having to deal with Galactus. The cool thing is Galactus isn't just a fucking cloud. He's an actual entity that they fight. And they fight Galactus. They don't just like banish, like they actually get into a fight with him. They show the extent of each person's powers and how like even though they're super powerful, like even though Reed Richards can stretch, there's an extent to how far he can stretch, and it does become painful at a point. They show that Johnny, even though he's like he can be the Human Torch, like he can't fly in space because there's no oxygen. Like he needs oxygen to fly. And they at one point like Reed adjusts spacesuits and tells him like, look, it's going to use the oxygen in your suit. So if you flame on for too long, you're not going to have oxygen to breathe. So don't flame on for too long. Ben really doesn't like have an actual weakness. So that's where that goes. He's just a rock man. But like throughout the movie at times, the movie is less about fighting a villain and is more about banding together and working together to stop a tragedy. Because similar to the Fantastic Four movie, and in the trailers you see that it is that the Silver Surfer comes down and marks the planet for destruction for Galactus. They go out and they discover Galactus and they talk to Galactus. And at the time, Sue Storm is pregnant, and Galactus is like, "We'll save your planet if you give me your baby." Again, all this is in the trailers, so you don't like none of this is really spoilery. And they say no, and then they come back to Earth. They have a little encounter with Galactus. They come back to Earth, and they then band together with Earth to try to figure out a way to stop Galactus. and you don't really get a lot of action sequences. You don't get a lot of fighting. It's a lot of just a story of like finding your family when it comes to when it comes to the camaraderie of the Fantastic Four, as well as banding together as a society to like yes, you can do the lesser of two evils, which is give one life for millions, or you could figure out a way to stop it and not sacrifice anybody for and still potentially save everyone. Or it's basically an all or nothing story and why all or nothing is better, which I honestly believe in. You don't fucking sacrifice one person to save a million people. No. It's you don't do that. That's messed up. Like that makes you no better than anyone else. But yeah, it's just like the whole how the story runs and like it goes over a point of time of like at least well, it's minimum like a year and a half about because like the beginning of the movie she finds out she's pregnant and then midway through the movie she has her baby Franklin and then there's another 4 months after that, so it's about a year plus that that the movie takes place over the time of, and it's a really cool it's a really cool story. I really enjoyed it. Like it's not like a superhero movie, but it's a superhero story to say.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Cool.
it was good. The writing was good. I will say, and it's just because there's limitations of working with babies that like they did have to use a CG baby from time to time. CG baby didn't look all that great at times. Like it was obvious it was a CG baby at times. Like
Yeah, I mean, what are you
but
gonna do?
it's there's limitations and like CG can only go so far. And it was the wide shots that really made the baby stand out a little bit. But and come on, Marvel, you could have done better with that. Like it was a little awkward at times, but I'm finding more and more no matter what movie I'm watching, whether like what no matter what superhero movie I'm watching, I'm finding more and more frequently that like I am seeing things in CG that's just like, all right, you could have dialed that down a bit, or you could have made that look a little bit better. But like in the grand scheme of things, that's 2 seconds in a hour and a half, 2 hour movie, so it's not that big a deal. I think Reed Richards looked great when he was doing the stretching. Like obviously it wasn't skin tone stretching; he was always wearing long sleeves. Because look, when you stretch skin, it looks weird. It just looks weird.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like the Fantastic Four's costumes have kind of always been long sleeve
Well,
costumes, so it's not like they were like, oh, let's change this costume to like cheat it.
there was even times he was stretching it. He was wearing just like a button-down shirt, and he
Gotcha.
stretched, and like he wasn't like stretching out of his shirt. The shirt was just stretching with him, which is like, I mean, Reed Richards would develop clothes that would do that. He would. That's just how that would work. That's how smart he is. But the crazy thing is, spoiler alert for anyone who didn't see the Thunderbolts by this point, and spoiler alert for anyone who has not seen Fantastic Four at this point. The end, they did not connect the credits scene of Thunderbolts, which is the Excelsior, the Fantastic Four ship entering into this 616 universe, which is the normal MCU universe. They did not connect that scene to this movie. So that was not like it is the Fantastic Four ship, but they were connecting Thunderbolts to Doomsday and not to Fantastic Four. But they were connecting it to say that, oh, it's coming to this universe. Which is like, all right, we kind of already knew that. But like the end credit scene did have a little bit of a connection with Doomsday. I'm not going to get too far into it, but it's just like it was a strange like it was a weird thing that like they didn't connect the two, but it was also like okay, so they weren't connecting it to Fantastic Four. They're connecting it to like this took place or this event is taking place right at Doomsday, which is pretty cool, or during Doomsday. But yeah, they had a Latveria mention, but there was no Robert Downey Jr. There was no actual Doctor Doom in the movie, which I was just like, I was a little bummed out about. Like, I wish like when they panned by, like they have like the equivalent of the UN in this universe, but
Right.
it's like the Peace Force or something like that. I can't remember. And they scanned by a lot of the countries, and one of them was Latveria, and like he wasn't there. And I was like, man, you could have had Doom there. You could have had Robert Downey Jr. there or something. Just like a quick cameo. And then at the end of the movie, they get a what's it called? They have a little quote from Jack Kirby, who was the original creator of the Fantastic Four. And they put his birth and death dates under the quote, and the universe was 828 for the movie, and his birthday is 8/28/1917. So they made his universe his birthday, which is, I was like, that's a really cool homage that they did for him, because like honestly, Jack Kirby's gotten fucked over by Marvel. It's good that they're like kind of paying him honor now, or trying to at least. But yeah, it was overall, it was a very fun movie to watch, and like the ensemble and the cast, they just all connected very well.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah, it was good. It was good. I suggest anybody go see it if they have a chance or if they have the time. But I was looking into it after I'd seen it. Like I think they might have moved up some Marvel movies, but there's nothing until Doomsday, if I remember correctly.
Good question.
Um,
Schedule. Eyes of Wakanda on August 6th?
that's not a movie. That's an
okay.
animated series.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so Eyes of Wakanda is an animated series. Zombies is an animated series. Wonder Man, I don't even know what Wonder Man is. This is the first time I'm hearing it. Spider-Man is July 31st of next year. That's the first movie that comes out. And Doomsday is December 18th. And then there's something on July 3rd of 2027. So yeah, 2026 is Spider-Man, and 2026 is Doomsday, and then 2027 there's another Marvel movie, and then Secret Wars on this back in December. So like they actually stepped down some of the releases. But yeah, Eyes of Wakanda, I believe, is an animated series. I don't really know much about it. Eyes of Wakanda, upcoming animated web television series based on Marvel Comics, country same name. 28th television series and the fourth animated series in the MCU. The series is produced by Marvel Animation. So it is a technically MCU canon series, I guess. But like it doesn't have any of the MCU cast doing the voices and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
Oh, right. The Blade movie was supposed to be this year, but
yeah.
hasn't even started filming yet, apparently.
And then Wonder Man is a miniseries coming to D+. Which I have no idea what Wonder Man is.
Me either.
Never heard of it. Never heard of Wonder Man. Apparently it's a comedy though. So, all right, I'll be down for it. We'll see. Supervillain imbued with ionic energy. After a series of events, it was reborn as a superhero training team against what she originally fought. I don't know what that means, but okay. Yeah, so where this is it for Marvel for a while, basically. Like it's a year. A year from now we'll get the next Marvel movie, which is crazy to me. That's like probably one of the longest breaks we've had in a Marvel like timeline. But yeah, you're right. We were supposed to get Blade at some point, and that's still in post-production or pre-production hell, if it's even happening at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's wild. Like I know people complain about like superhero fatigue, but it like, and I get it. There's a lot of superhero films. I've never really felt that fatigue, and there's really only been like one movie that I just generally did not like, and that was Black Widow. But there have been several movies I did not see for one reason or another. Flashpoint I didn't see because what's her name is a fucking asshole, and so I refused to see that movie. And then I've never actually like fully watched the Shazam movies, but that's because Zachary Levi is a shitty person and is a Trump supporter, and I did not realize that, and so fuck him. And I haven't seen Aquaman 2 yet, but that's just because I forgot about it. So like for me, like I'm excited in this new era, potentially new era of superhero movies, especially with what James Gunn is doing with the DCU. Like I'm excited to see how things move forward and what's going to happen with this. And I'm very interested to see how these movies go forward with the MCU. It's gonna suck to not have a Marvel movie to be able to go see over the next 12 months. not 12 months, less than 12 months. But I'll find other
No,
movies to see.
I mean, it's
There's a
literally a full year until Spider-Man.
well, yeah, it is 12 months. Yeah, for some reason, my brain was like, oh, it's Doomsday is July and Spider-Man's before. But no, yeah. I'd closed the windows already. But yeah,
Spider-Man is July 31st.
yeah, that's wild. It's wild.
It'll be the
But
first time there's been that long of a break in Marvel movies since 2012.
probably.
No,
Sounds
like
about
I'm
right.
literally looking at the list. 2012 was the last time there was only one movie in a year, obviously not counting COVID.
Hmm.
Um, uh, well, sorry, until 2024, where the only MCU movie was Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
that's right.
but uh,
That was because of the writer's strike and the actor's strike,
yeah,
which
but
makes sense.
otherwise, 2013, 14, 15, 16, 7, 13, 14, 15, 16 each had two movies. 17
Hmm.
had three, 18 had three, 19 had 19 had three, 2021 had four,
Yeah,
2022 had three, 2023 had three, then
yeah.
just one in 24 and
And
three again this year.
I personally feel the reason that people would feel the fatigue is because of their release. They would always do like March, May, July, and then they would have the rest of the year off, or like, and this is how Disney would do it. It would be March, May, July for Marvel, and then Star Wars was in December. And so they would overload like the first half of the year or so with the superhero movies, and people would be like, "Man, there's too many superhero movies." And then we'd go 6 months without a superhero, over 6 months without a superhero movie. And
Well,
then
looking at the list, it was once they started the three a year, it was May. Well, so 2017 was May, July, November, then February, April, July. So you
yeah,
had three movies in 5 months.
yeah,
That was a bit much. Then March, April, July,
yep,
and then then COVID, and then so July, September, November, December, May, July, November, February, May, November,
yeah.
February, May, July.
Yeah, so
So yeah.
it was always pretty overloaded at the front end of the year, and so
Mhm.
that's what I feel like. Because then we were also getting like not consistent, but fairly consistent DC movies at the time, at least one or two a year
Yeah.
there, and those were coming out also around the same time that Marvel was coming out,
Hmm.
and so that's where like, oh, there's too many superhero movies. It's like
Yeah.
it's five, and like maybe if they released them at a better order, like or better time frame, you wouldn't feel that way. There's too many movies right now, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of new movies coming out that seem interesting though that I'm gonna maybe keep an eye out to go see at some point over the next year, since I won't have anything else to do in the movies. But yeah, it's Fantastic Four is totally worth it. Drew, tell us about bananas.
So yeah, the Savannah Bananas were in Philly this past weekend. What do you know about the Savannah Bananas?
Only what I've seen on TikTok and Reels and Shorts and shit like that. They're goofy, silly baseball players.
Yeah, so essentially, I equate it to like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball.
Yeah,
Um, and that's kind of what it is. I'd say the games are probably more competitive and less like. I'm pretty sure at this point it's basically the Globetrotters games are scripted. I mean, like they don't lose like intentionally. Like it's not
Globetrotters.
possible for them to lose.
So Globetrotters games are scripted in the same sense that WWE, like wrestling, is scripted. It's like they talk about what's gonna happen and how it's gonna happen, but they don't actually like they don't talk about the score or whatever for sure. Like, but yeah, it's the Globetrotters have only lost like 3 games against what is their team
Okay,
they play
so
against, the
the
Generals
Washington
or something like that?
Generals, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So at least according to Google, the Harlem Globetrotters have over 27,000 wins and 345 losses.
That's honestly a lot more than I had expected. I could, but like still, that's a 30% lose ratio.
No, it's like a
Or
0.3%.
oh wait, how
Yeah,
much? What was the wins?
27,000.
27. Oh, I thought 2,700. Yeah, that's a
No, no.
3%
Yeah,
loss ratio. 100. That's a 3% loss ratio.
Also, didn't realize the Harlem Globetrotters have been around for almost 100 years. How about that?
Yeah.
If you told me like 70 years, I'd have been like, oh, that's a long time, but that seems right. But I didn't realize friggin' 1926 for the Globetrotters.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Savannah Bananas, they play what they call it banana ball because it has slightly different rules than baseball. I guess the key rules that are different are for the first 8 innings, it's just 1 point for whichever team scores the most runs in that inning. So if the team they're playing scores 2 and they only the Bananas score 1, the other team gets a point. Vice versa, or if they tie, nobody gets a point.
Mm-hmm.
On a walk, instead of the batter just getting first base for free, and like in the MLB, you could take more than one base on a walk if like there's a pass ball and you just run. But in banana ball, all 9 fielders have to touch the ball before the runner can be tagged out, and they can go as far as they can before all 9 fielders touch the ball. So it leads to a fun, like, honestly, kind of Harlem Globetrottery look of the catcher like chucking the ball to the shortstop, and then all the fielders are running into each other to make these throws short, so they can all touch it real quick. And the last big one is if a foul ball is hit and is caught like on the fly, it's an out.
Mm-hmm.
Like if a fan catches it. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But again, it has to be caught like clean on the fly. It can't I'm pretty sure it can't be like touched by one fan and then caught by another. Like just one person has to directly catch it. But and then before some batters they'll might do a fun little intro with a song and then lip syncing, or sometimes between pitches, like the pitcher and some fielders will do a dance. The umpire is frequently dancing. It's a fun time. So I went both days. They were in for the weekend. Saturday night they had Joey Chestnut come out and they were selling banana dogs in the stadium, which were a hot dog. I didn't see exactly what it was, but it was a banana on a hot dog bun, I think with like strawberries and whipped cream on it. But so they brought Joey Chestnut out to do an eating contest versus 2 of their they have Dad Bod cheer squad. So they have two of their cheer squad members against just Joey Chestnut in a banana dog eating contest. And so they start setting it up between innings, and like it was like a 3-minute contest. And I'm like, okay, so there'll be 3 minutes between the innings here. About a minute into it, the game just starts happening. Like they're on the field in right field while this is happening, while the game is happening, and I'm just like, please, somebody hit a fly ball to right field. Like they were pretty far back into the corner, and it would have taken a pretty good hit to get there, but still, they were very much in the field of play. And I'm like, oh god, this would be chaos if something happens, but nobody was able to hit it over there.
So, according to Google AI, a banana dog is a culinary creation offered by the Savannah Bananas baseball team. It consists of a banana on a caramelized New England roll, which sounds delicious, topped with whipped cream, sliced strawberries, and sometimes chocolate syrup. And then it says how many Joey Chestnut ate during the game. So I'm
13?
Close, 14.
14. Okay. I knew he got to double digits, and the 2 guys I think combined for 6. But yeah. So it's a fun time. Lots of stuff happens. Eventually, so I guess like the bottom of the 8th, I don't know if it's always the bottom of the 8th, but while they're doing their like world tour, and I think sometimes when they're doing the games in Savannah as well, like a local former MLB player will show up and take an at-bat for the Bananas. On Saturday, it was Shane Victorino who did it last year when the Bananas were in town.
Nice.
And then unfortunately on Sunday, weather got crazy, and by the 8th inning, it started pouring rain and thunderstorms were in the area. So they were like, okay, we're just going to call the game here, everyone get home safely. And it sucked because I don't know who was going to be the batter for the Bananas. I was guessing Chase Utley, Um,
Probably would have been. I don't know if
I,
he still lives in the area, but probably would have been him.
yeah, I feel like he's been doing a lot of stuff with the Phillies again recently, so he
Hmm.
might not have been in the area. I don't know. My other thought it was John Kruk. Oh, that was mostly because I saw a thing where uh, they went through asking all the Bananas players and all like who their favorite Philly of all time was, and the owner of the Bananas said John Kruk, and I'm like, and it turned out he wasn't doing the broadcasts for the Phillies that weekend. And I was like, ooh, he could be here, but we'll never know. Um,
Hmm.
though for Sunday, one of the guys on the Texas Tailgaters, which was the team the Bananas were playing, used to do stuff with the John Boy Media Warehouse games. So I wore the jersey I have for the team that he was on and got his signature on it. So that was cool.
Nice. Nice.
Um,
That's awesome.
he was ecstatic somebody had one of their jerseys. Um,
Nice. I hear you
uh,
became good friends with them too.
yeah,
So
so we'll see what happens. We might hear from him
yeah, just start.
further on the website at some point.
Hey, look, I'm just saying he slid into your DMs.
He did. He
Like,
did.
be his best friend,
I,
man.
I'm
Be his
I'm
best friend.
I'm gonna try. But I guess the big celebrity appearance that happened on Saturday was Gritty.
Yeah, I saw some clips here and there of
Uh,
that.
yeah, Gritty made a couple appearances during the Sunday festivities, so that was fun because it's Gritty, and
Did
Gritty
they
is
have the
great.
fanatic there too?
No, which was kind of like
I
the fanatic
well, I
was
mean,
also jokingly someone I had in mind for a possible like special batter appearance because
I'm
that just
surprised
would have
they
been
didn't.
fun. But
But do the Phillies take the fanatic on the road with them? Because that'll probably be why he wasn't there then.
I don't think they do. But again, like, I don't know. Uh, like really the whole uh legality is not quite the word I'm looking for, but like what it was, what the crossover they're allowed to do between MLB and Banana Ball.
Hmm.
So I don't know if they legally could get the I'd imagine if they asked, like I don't think the
If
MLB sees like the Bananas as like an issue or whatever,
no, I
But
feel like if they were able to get gritty, they would have been able to get the fanatic.
yeah, probably. It's just whether or not, yeah, I don't know why they didn't have the Fanatic at all. You would think they would, but they didn't, unfortunately. But they did get Gritty, which is almost as good. So, um, and they do fun little events between innings and half innings. On Saturday, they did one where they had four brothers, like teenage kids, out on the field, and there was one chair, and they called the game the brotherly shove, and it was which brother can sit in the chair first. And they did 3 rounds, so like the winner of the first round and then the winner of the second round would go against each other in the finals. Guess what happens when you put four teenage brothers in a competitive thing where you're actively telling them to shove each other around? Someone gets hurt.
Oh boy.
I mean, it didn't seem like they got hurt badly at all, but maybe a little like twisted ankle, and maybe could have been way worse than it wound up being. But those kids had fucking no chill at all.
Yeah.
Like, what do you expect? It's four teenage rambunctious boys you're telling to literally rip the chair out from each other if they can. And
Yeah.
literally as soon as it ended, the owner was doing off and on does PA stuff during the game, and they have another PA announcer too, and the owner was like, and that is a promotion we'll never do again. Because
Oh
yeah,
boy.
but hey, it was fun.
They had to sign waivers,
Oh,
obviously.
I'm sure. Yeah,
If you get hurt, like the parents are probably upset, but
like I
it
said,
happens.
it didn't seem like any like a bad. It was maybe a little bit of a rolled ankle, not like nobody got like hurt at
Yeah.
all, but it was definitely you probably, if you did this again, somebody definitely could get hurt worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, they had second thoughts on that probably immediately. Like the first round was pretty savage when all four of them were involved, and it was like, oh, yep, I'm pretty sure they already regret this. And then, yeah, by the end, it was clearly regretted that decision, but
Yeah.
oops. So yeah, I don't know. Banana Ball was fun. And the tickets were relatively cheap. I think I paid $40 a ticket for each game. It was like $160 for 4 tickets for the 2 games. So
That's not bad.
yeah. One game we were up in the Saturday night game. We were in the 300 level on the third baseline or first baseline, which not bad. The Sunday game we were in the 6th row in left field.
Yeah.
So
that's a great spot.
Yeah, but I think like the seats I was in on Saturday might have been $60. So it wasn't like they were way more for the Saturday night game, but yeah.
Nice. Sounds like a great time. I've seen their clips. I've always had fun watching their shit. It definitely looks like a fun time to go to.
Yeah, it's fun for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it for me. So how's Romancelvania?
Yeah, so I beat Romancelvania yesterday, and we talked about this a little bit last week with Cobb because I had just started it. The game it's a very it's a dating sim, so it's always going to be a little tongue in cheek in itself, and it's going to be a little silly. But like some characters are just written so much worse, and some characters are written a lot better, and it's just it's weird. It's weird how they put the game together because like. You kind of get pushed to keeping specific characters with you, so that and not like kicking out other characters because of the way like the romance system works and things like that. So for anyone who missed it last week, Romancelvania is a cross between a dating sim and a platformer / Metroidvania. It references Castlevania a lot. You play as Dracula, either femme or man or mask. Dracula that you can choose from, and you are put into Love at First Bite, a dating show similar to The Bachelor, where you, playing as Dracula, who are the Bachelor or Bachelorette, have to go on dates with different monsters and give them black roses to tell them to leave the castle. Some of my big problems with the game: there is a cast of 5 plus 4, 9 plus 3. It's 12-ish characters, I think. There's a cast of about 12 characters that you can date, but they are given to you across the game. And you have to start kicking people out before you get all of your dates, before you get all of your matches. Which I don't like that concept. Like, if you're going to do a Bachelor concept game, you should meet everyone first. If you're going to do a dating sim, you should meet everyone first and get to know them over the course of the game. Even if you're going to be kicking people out, you should get to know them over the course of the game. So when it's time for you to make your final decision, you know you're not missing out on anybody. But like the writing when it comes to some of these characters is just so like in my opinion pretty rough. And like so straightforward that it's just like, all right, I know I'm not going to click with this character. I know I'm not going to have it. Like one of the characters you get in the second chapter of the game, she's a succubus, and when you bring her to the house, her literal goal was to come to the house, have sex with everyone, and rip their heads off and kill them. So they chastise her and put a chastity belt over her, so that she can't have sex and rip people's heads off. And so like. For me, I'm just like, it's too straightforward, but also the character herself was not having fun and was not happy in this situation. So I was like, well, I'm just going to have her leave then because she's not happy here. So why would I keep her here? It's that simple. Like I didn't get to know her because the second you'd meet up with everyone, then it's like, all right, you can go on like quick dates or whatever with people. And then boom, you're done. Then you go to the rose ceremony and the first time you go to rose ceremony, you get to kick out one person. The second time you go to rose ceremony, you kick out 2 people. And then the third time you go to rose ceremony, you kick out three monsters, I think it was. And so you just don't really get much of a chance to actually learn about these characters because you can go on dates with them throughout the game, even like it goes into what's called the quote golden hour, which is after you complete your main quest, you can then like go to the bar and have drinks with everyone and run around and go on dates. But some of the date locations, or most of the date locations, are maxed out with one less potential chance of going on a date than the total number of people that you can bring on that date. Meaning, like, there's a date site which is just like a beautiful view, and you go up into the mountains and you have a beautiful view. There are 4 matches you can bring up there, but you can only go on 3 dates up there, which is like kind
Gotcha.
of bullshit. That's kind of boring. That's kind of annoying. Like,
Yeah.
why can't I get to know all my dates? Like, why can't I bring them all? Why am I limited to only 3 of the 4? That just, to me, it doesn't make sense. Like, I should be able to bring everyone on all the dates, but that's just me being sort of the completionist. But it's also like the idea of trying to get to know everyone. Um, then, yeah, the combat itself is fine. It's a Metroidvania, but it's like it's one hit, like it's very relevant. It's very based on Castlevania. So you hit the attack button, it's a single swipe, and you stop when you're attacking. You swipe, and then you keep moving. Like there, you can get multiple swipes while jumping, but like there's no like combo. It's just the same swing. Um, the weapons aren't all that fantastic. It's a Kickstarter game. So like it was a Kickstarter game that just barely got funded. I think it was only like a couple thousand over what their base goal was. So like they were running on very limited funds for sure. So like it was like I give that a little bit of its leeway. Like I understand. But for like I don't know, one character, her name is PSL. I talked about her a little bit last week. PSL, she's a pumpkin, so pumpkin spice latte. It's the little tongue-in-cheek joke they had with her. Her whole big thing is she is into BDSM and she's a switch, so she'll be both dom and sub. And
Hmm.
that is all she fucking talks about. Which I don't know if you've ever met anyone who's really into BDSM. That is that is not their person. They're not going to sit here and be like, "Hey, I'm a switch. How you doing?" No. Like that literally like her second line is I like being tied up, but I also like tying up. It's like, okay, I understand it's trying to be a little straightforward, but like maybe let me get to know you before you tell me that you want to be tied up in bed and you want to I don't know. It's just it was the only reason I kicked her out at the time that I kicked her out is because one I had just encountered my first male character in the game and I didn't want to kick out a male character without even knowing them. And two, the other 2 characters had a better story and quest line to go through. And that's really all it was. But honestly at this point, trying to mid-max it and get like the best abilities, I should have kicked out the male character because he was already max level. So there's no point to keep him on. Because the way the game works is your relationship level determines certain abilities that you can upgrade to a certain level. So if you get everyone to level 6 or some characters to level 8, then you can upgrade to like the best of their ability you get from them. And so when I first got the other dragon or the other vampire named Soul, you get a quest that you can do for him as soon as you get him. And once you get that quest done, you're basically at level 6 relationship with them right away. So like I should have kicked him out and kept PSL or kept the succubus. And that's kind of like my other problem with the game is like since your abilities are based on your relationship, like 2 of the first 3 characters you encounter, you cannot complete their quests until nearing the end of the game. So I can't max out their abilities because I have to kick out at least one of them. I can't really max out all their abilities, and you kind of get like, in my opinion, I felt like I needed to keep Medusa and the Genie Vess with me because I had a quest for them that I couldn't finish. And it's like I need to finish these quests. I need to get Medusa her body back. I need to get Vess her lamp back. Like I can't just kick them out and not finish up these quests. So it's just like the way
Hmm.
they did things, like it really to me didn't make sense why you would keep those quests locked until the very end of the game. And it like the fact that you didn't get all your matches right at the beginning of the game really just bothered me. The writing, like some of it was good, some of it was bad. You can tell obviously these people were probably from the Boston area because they reference Boston a lot. There's actually one character who I loved. His name was Fenton. He was a wolf man or a man wolf. He was a man wolf. So he was a man, or he was a wolf, an anthropomorphized wolf who, when he drinks, turns into an angry guy named Sal from Boston. Which is like, all right, that's funny, that's silly, I get it, I like it. Instead of the wolf man, he's the man wolf. But it's like, and like his man side, his drunk side is the side that's like that needs to be caged up, and the wolf side is the sophisticated smart man. And like, I fell in love with him right away. I was like, he's a great character, but also at the same time, like as I was talking to him, like, man, I love this concept, but like I cannot figure out what you like. And it seemed like he liked to be either yelled at or and ridiculed, or he also liked intelligence. And it was like, you're too off the wall. But like you get his quest done when you first meet him, and that's it. Like you're maxed out relationship level with him. But then you have two characters from the beginning of the game you're not maxed out with because you can't finish your quest until the next chapter. And then some of the locations just added some random side, like one location. It was the sewers of Greece. Turned into just I was skateboarding on rails, like on a 2D side scroller running from Cerberus. And like that's you had to jump and dodge things and not get eaten by Cerberus. I was like, this is dumb. I don't get it. I don't get why they did this. Like it had some fun concepts, like Lulu, who is Cthulhu.
Okay.
And which is like, yeah, and she was like she was weird. She was so weird, but she was cool. And then you had Nefrit, who was Queen Nefertiti, or I guess, yeah, she's a mummy, so she's a mommy. She's a
Okay.
mummy.
Mhm.
You had Vess, who was a genie, Medusa, who's Medusa, but it's only her head. Her head was chopped off from her body, so you have the quest to go get her body. Then like really the only other one, you got the succubus, you got the siren, you had Dead Pirate Roberts instead of Dread Pirate Roberts. Which I think Dread Pirate Roberts is Goonies, right? I think.
No, 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 no. Isn't that
What is Dread Pirate Roberts?
uh Princess Bride?
Princess Bride, yeah. So
I'm
instead
pretty
you
sure.
had Dead Pirate Roberts. You had like a siren. I don't remember her name, if she had anything special about it or funny. Um, and then the one that I had the biggest reaction with was you had Brocifer, who is Lucifer. He's all tatted up on his arms. He's all about lifting weights and going to the beach and hooking up and having sex, and he's naked, straight up naked. He's a buff guy with six-pack abs, straight up naked. He's censored around his crotch. He wears a chain necklace, and he's the Jersey Devil. And I was like, all right, I hate it. I can respect it. I hate it. Yeah. So like the game overall, like it was all right. The combat, like the resolution of the game made no sense. The combat was fine. The boss fights were kind of like I face rolled through them. They were just very easy. And they did a really they took an interesting idea of combining two different genres, but they didn't combine them well enough. They half-assed two things, basically. And
Gotcha.
like if they just focused a little bit more on like the combat and focused a little bit more on the dating sim aspect of the dating sim, this game would be a lot better and I'd feel a lot better about it. But they half-assed two things and released like 75% of a really good completed game. Or an enjoyable completed game. Like it was still I had some fun. It was just missing out on some things here and there. Like again, and I talked about this last week. If you make the wrong choice, your relationship doesn't go down, it just doesn't go up. Which to me in a dating sim, if you make the wrong choice, your relationship is supposed to go down. It really didn't seem like there ever was a wrong choice. There was just choices characters didn't like. And so like yeah, it just like if I picked it like but it was also really easy to know what characters liked after the first or second time talking to them because they always wanted that same reaction. Medusa always wanted the flirty or sexy reaction.
Gotcha.
Vess always wanted the friendly reaction. Like it's just like once you know the characters, it's always the same reaction you get to them. So yeah, like it's just I wish the dialogue was a little bit better. I wish they could have done a little bit better with the game. It was still good for what it was, and I got it for less than $10. It was I had a good time playing it for a couple of hours, but it played its part. It was silly enough that like I'm not going to sit here and say everyone should play it, but like if you're intrigued by it, if you think the concept is silly enough, you should definitely go check it out and give it a shot. Like maybe you'll have a better reaction than I did. I guess my other issue would be that every time you play, you're always going to be introduced to the characters in that same order. I wish they had introduced and they had found a way to randomize the character introductions so that you're not always meeting Brosiver, Vess, and Medusa as the first three. And then like PSL, the Succubus and Soul and Van Helsing as the next four. Like I wish they found a way to randomize it, but because each character was locked behind a certain location and you needed like double jump or your mega jump in order to get to these locations, they couldn't do that. The characters are only introduced via story, but it's like I kicked one person out and I'm adding three more, and then I'm kicking two more out, I'm adding five more, and then I'm kicking another three out, and then I'm going on my last two dates with two people, even though there's four people available, and then I'm in the end. It's just if they didn't go with the concept of it being a reality show, it probably would have worked a little bit better as well. Well, yeah, it was fine. It was fine.
Cool. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Well, yeah, that's really all. I mean, the only other thing I have to talk about is Capcom is actually listening to its viewers or to its players, which is wild.
Why don't you touch on that real quick? We're
early. So Monster Hunter Wilds is one of their things they were going to be releasing in Title Update 3 at the end of September. They are pushing forward and giving it to us at their next update, at their 2.5 update, which has been pushed back 1 week so that they could get it fully prepared. So now we're getting it about a month and a half early because they've been sending out surveys and people have been complaining about the fact that there is a lack of content. There is a lack of endgame. There's literally, when you get all the armor, there is next to no reason to actually play the game. When you get all of the like post-release content that they have given you, there's no real reason to play the game because the way a Monster Hunter endgame loop works is you fight these monsters to get these items to potentially craft a stronger weapon, but like you already have all the weapons because it's very common to get these things and it's not that random. So now they're incorporating a new quote harder set of missions that weren't supposed to be incorporated until the end of September. They're adding that in mid-August to where we can now get a different, like a talisman, so it's like an armor piece that is like a necklace that gives you like certain skills, and those are going to be randomized now. So now it's going to be like, all right, well, now the endgame loop is going to be playing this to get these to try to make the better builds, which is actually really cool. And like I'm excited about it. It's just I'm curious as to what's going on with how it's going to be, what these new harder missions are. And reportedly, let me pull it up real quick. Somebody sent me a Reddit post about like potentially why they're doing this. The Q1 2025 Wilds Monster Hunter Wilds only sold under 500,000 copies from April to June 30th. Which the game had been out since February, so 10.58 million total. But since April to June, it's only been less than 500,000. Which in that same time frame, they've sold. They are just barely overselling Monster Hunter Rise, which has been out longer, which is the previous game. Even Resident Evil 2 Remake outsold Monster Hunter Wilds in this time frame. So they're like their big thing that's supposed to be getting them a lot of money and bringing more people in is not selling out their older titles. And it's also being review bombed on Steam because lack of content and the game still kind of just doesn't run very well because of the way their engine is set up.
That's certainly an issue.
Yeah, so the way the game works is if I load up the world, it's every location is running in the background. It may not be fully loaded, but it is running in the background with all monsters actively running in the background. So if I turn the game on right now, I'm currently at like I'm averaging anywhere between 5 and 15% CPU power right now. If
Mm.
I turn the game on, I am peaking at least at like 90% with just the game on because everything is active and live while we're playing the game. So if I'm in a hunt that is not on the main world map, everything that's happening on the world map is still happening while I'm in this hunt. So I'm actually using more power from my CPU to run this hunt because it has to run all of the monsters that are in this instance as well as all of the monsters that are on the main overworld. And so if I'm somewhere that does not have any monsters on it, it's still calculating what those monsters are doing in the overworld while I'm there. And since it's running off of my machine and not like a server, it wrecks it uses so much of your CPU power. Like the game literally every time I load into a region, like and it's recent that it started doing this. Like when the game first came out, it didn't run like this where like the textures didn't fill in properly right away and like my bird looked weird. But now after recent updates, my bird looks weird for a good 2 to 3 seconds until all the textures load in properly and stuff. Like
Huh.
I can see my bird's eyes but not his face and shit like that. Um and it's because the way they have that system running. It's similar to what they did with Resident Evil 2. So in Resident Evil 2, you had um, Mr. X who was constantly traveling around the um,
Hmm.
the police station. However, that's a small area of the map, and once you leave that area unlocks. But in this game, if you're in the desert, the plains, the forest is still running. The oil well basin is still running. The ice shard cliffs are still running. The ruins of Iveria, they're all still running. They might not be fully loaded in, but they're running. And you can get a seamless transition from, you could potentially, I think theoretically, you can run from the beginning of the game all the way to the end of the game, like through each map area without loading. So you could have a seamless transition the closer you get to each region. So it's like it's kind of all partially loaded in at the same time. So it runs poorly. They also keep constantly updating weapons, and some of the weapons are not doing a good job with the updates. I know, for instance, the bow gun weapons, they are constantly like nerfing and making worse by making like if they're going to increase the amount of health some of these monsters are going to have is what's going to happen in this update. But the bow gun users with some of these later game monsters, they're using up all of their gun ammo and they have to go back to camp and reload. If they're going to do that and force them to reload 2 or 3 times, but make the resources a pain to get to keep using this ammo, it like they're making guns not worth it because they have a trouble with late game power creep is really what it is. And so they're trying to limit that, I guess, but I don't know. But yeah, Monster Hunter's actually listening to people. So we're pretty excited.
Cool. Yeah.
But yeah,
Sounds like good news on that front.
yeah.
Hopefully, especially they fix the like performance issues in the patches. That would be big.
The problem is that they're not likely there's not really much they can do to fix the performance issues without reworking how the entire game works as a whole. So like the like because everything has to run and it's a bad system in my opinion since everything has to run and I've been complaining about this since the beginning because everything has to run and there's a day-night cycle in the game which is probably and every hour is a new day or something like that. Each monster has a half-hour timer variable. So, like, one monster may have a half hour where another monster has 20 minutes and another monster has 10 minutes and another monster has 13 while on the map, and they swap in and out. The game has to constantly keep track of that. The only way to fix the performance issues is to limit what's actually being active at the same time. So if I'm in the plains, only the plains have that timer. That's really the only way to fix that, and so they're going to have to cut down the entire game, add load zones and things like that. And it wouldn't really, I don't know how you can do that after the game has released.
Mm-hmm. True.
So, yeah.
I mean, there might be other things that they can optimize to make things run at least a little better.
Yeah. Yeah, it would probably be like, I don't know how much of the map in the game is actually fully loaded in when you're running around on it. Like when I'm in one-off locations that are not connected by the map, the game, like my CPU does run lower. So like maybe they need, so like if I'm in the plains, maybe they have to limit what's actually loaded in, but still keep track of it. It really shouldn't be that hard for the game to track what the monster is and where it's at. That should just be numbers.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
but it feels like they have the actual entire map loaded all at one time. And that's like the problem. But I don't know.
Yeah. Me either. Neither of us are programmers.
Yeah, yeah, who knows? Who knows? But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Anything else? Is that a show?
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. So yeah, that's our show this week. You can find us over on Patreon, patreon.com/OneQuest. Shit, I totally forgot what it is, but I'm pretty sure it's just that.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Oh my god! Just I want to make sure I get it right. But I wasn't thinking about. I wasn't prepped for running the show this week, so I didn't think about things ahead of time. Like unlike the last time I did it, where it was like, oh yeah, Cop's definitely going to be out. Yeah, it's patreon.com/OneQuest. All one word, no hyphen, nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
Twitter at _quest on Twitter and Instagram, right?
Yeah, but no one uses Twitter anymore, so it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
that's true.
Or at least none of us use Twitter anymore.
No,
we all use Blue Sky.
We're at just onequest.com on Blue Sky.
Yeah, we're easy to find on Blue Sky.
We're at OneQuest Online on Facebook. OneQuest Video on YouTube. You can email us social@one-quest.com or go to our website one-quest.com. Walnut, what's your streaming coming up?
Alright. Twitch.tv/b_walnuts. Video game streaming Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Like I said, fill out that SurveyMonkey that's down in the description. Like at the time of recording, we have 13 of 25 responses. Fill it out. Just be silly. Have fun with it. Don't worry about it, the game being hard or not. That's the point. Other than that, so like that'll start on the 4th of August. On the 3rd, my birthday, which is this upcoming Sunday, I am playing some Lockdown Protocol and potentially some Schedule 1, depending on how long Lockdown Protocol goes, and just being debaucherous delinquents and sus as hell for my birthday, which is going to be fun and silly. Other than that, like, look forward to me playing Legacy Kane Soul Reaver 1, and Expedition 33, and Doom the Dark Ages. Those are like some of the games lined up that I have coming up in the next few weeks and months, depending on how long Demon's Souls takes.
Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the show, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye.
See yous. Thanks for listening.